Hello and welcome back to Monarch High School's Guitar Vodcast. I'm Mr. Harrison. So far we've learned the notes E, F, and G on the E string, B, C, and D on the B string, and G and A on the G string. Now we're going to add another string and 3 more notes. Alright, we're going to go move to the D string and we're going to learn the notes D, E, and F. Alright, this is D, which is open. Alright, letter E will be played with your middle finger, the number 2 finger, on the 2nd fret of the D string. And F will be played with your 3rd finger, your ring finger, on the 3rd fret of the D string. So here's D, E, and F. Now here's what D, E, and F look like on the treble clef staff. We got a few exercises that will help you learn these new notes D, E, and F. Then we're going to add 2 more on so we can incorporate the notes we've learned already. Let's take a look at this first exercise. This first exercise we're dealing with half notes and quarter notes and whole notes. I'm just going to count it off and play it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember, when you're playing the note F, you can also keep your middle finger held down, so when you go back to E, it'll be just an easy switch of just picking up that 3rd finger. Here's this exercise again for you one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's the second exercise for D, E, and F. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's listen to that one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Before you move on to these last 2 exercises I'm going to give you, make sure you have the first 2 mastered. Make sure the rhythms are correct, the correct note lengths, correct tempo. Make sure the notes are correct, and make sure you bring it up to a moderate tempo. Now let's take a look at these last 2 exercises. Before we dive right into this exercise, I want you to take a look at the first note. If you notice, it's all by itself in one measure. Alright, music doesn't always begin on beat 1. When you begin after beat 1, the notes before that first full measure are what you call pickup notes. In this case, you have 1 pickup note. And all that pickup note is doing is taking 1 beat, or in this case, it's taking 1 beat away from the last measure and putting it at the beginning of the piece. Because if you look at the last measure of the piece, you'll notice it only has 3 beats. So all the 4th beat is doing is being added onto the beginning of the piece. Now that we know what a pickup note is, let's play this exercise. When you're counting it off, you're only going to count to 3 because you come in on beat 4. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. Let's look at that exercise one more time. 1, 2, 3. Here's the last exercise I'll have for you this episode. Now, if you notice, we've got pickup notes once again. So for this time, we have 2 beats. If you look at the last measure, there's only a half note on the end. So the 2 beats from the last measure were added on the beginning. So we'll count this one off, 1, 2, and then we come in on beat 3. Here is the exercise. 1, 2. Here's that exercise for you one more time. 1, 2. Make sure if you're missing notes or rhythms, you go back on these exercises, slow them down, and then correct all the notes or rhythms you're missing, and then gradually speed it back up. Same thing when you're moving from exercise to exercise. Make sure you get that exercise correct before you move on to the more difficult one. The whole point is for you to be able to read these easy notes and rhythms with great ease, so when you move on to more advanced music, it'll be that much easier for you. You're not having to stumble back in your book looking for notes, trying to remember fingerings, trying to remember basic rhythms. Right? Get it down now, and it'll make it easier for you later. Now that's going to wrap everything up for this episode. Join me in the next episode. We're going to do a big review of all the strings we've learned, all the notes we've learned, all the rhythms, and the notes on the treble clef staff. So this is Mr. Harrison from Monarch High School. I hope to see you again.